Good afternoon. It's September 19th, and this is episode 19 of Rob Explains, your daily podcast discussing and explaining cool, random, and interesting things. I'm Rob. Thanks for joining me. One of my favorite comic book villains is the Lizard from the Spider-Man comics, because I think part of me has always loved the idea of regeneration and regrowth. As we certainly know, humans are not capable of regrowing a limb that has been lost. Now, we are using our intelligence to replace those limbs with mechanics and robotics, but nothing will regrow a human arm that is exactly a match to the arm you're born with. But we see that in the animal kingdom. There are animals that can do that, including lizards, that if their leg is lost in a trap, they'll simply regrow another one. If their tail is lost in a fight, they'll just regrow another one. But did you know there is a part of your body that will regrow if it's lost? You are, in fact, kind of a lizard, and it seems kind of magical. Although humans are not able to regenerate large bodies like arms or legs or mainly any organs at all, we are able to regenerate one of our organs, and that is the liver. And I said earlier it's magic, but really what it comes down to is adaptation and evolution taking care of us and knowing that at least one part of our body will need to regenerate new cells quickly after damage. Now, the liver is the body's filter. Blood passes through the liver and all sorts of toxins are taken out of it. But acting as a filter can be damaging to the cells of the liver itself. And in fact, in some ways, your liver cells will take one for the team and absorb a toxin and be damaged or die so that that toxin doesn't impact the rest of your body. Now, kind of most well known in general society is the medical condition known as cirrhosis of the liver. And that is when too much alcohol usage causes a permanent damage to the liver and the cells of the liver. Alcohol essentially is a poison, it's a toxin, and the effects that you feel are that toxin's impact on the brain and the nervous system. But after a few hours, your liver will filter all of those toxins out, and that's why you may feel terrible the next morning, but you're still alive. But when you overindulge too often, the liver can be taxed in trying to pull out all of those toxins all of the time. And when that damage spreads and becomes some sort of a runaway impact, and in fact overwhelms the liver's ability to regenerate, that is considered cirrhosis. But what once may have been a death sentence now is not, because modern science and modern medicine allow for liver transplants. That is, taking the liver from one person and giving it to another. Now, unlike most transplants, the person donating their liver doesn't have to live without it for the rest of their life. If you were to give up a lung or a kidney or any other body part as a donor to someone else, you essentially have to live without that body part for the rest of your life. But it is possible to donate half your liver to someone else and have your full liver regrow and have the liver that you've given to someone else actually regrow as well. So now two versions of your liver will exist in the world. And essentially this is based on the liver always trying to reach homeostasis. It always wants to return to the same shape and the same level of cells. So when a large portion, even a large portion or a small portion is removed, the cells will regenerate and regrow to get back to homeostasis. As long as we don't overwhelm that process, we should be back to 100% within a few weeks or months. Now, the speed at which your liver regenerates is controlled by your genes. The interleukin-6 gene, overexpression, underexpression, or normal expression will have your liver regenerate at a certain rate. If it's underexpressed, it regenerates slower than other people. If it's overexpressed, then it will regenerate faster. And if you know people who don't get hangovers and just aren't impacted by toxins in their body, there is a chance that they have a overexpressed interleukin-6 genome. And one fascinating thing about our liver's ability to regenerate is how long it seems we've known about this fact. We can look all the way back to the ancient Greeks and their myth of Prometheus as an example of the knowledge that the liver regrows. Prometheus was a trespasser against the gods, and his punishment by the gods was to be cast to the side of a mountain where birds of prey would eat his liver every day, and they would have their fill day after day because his liver would regrow overnight. And in that myth, we see a knowledge by the ancient Greeks that your liver does regenerate if part of it's removed. And to me, that is fascinating. How is it possible that they knew that? But in any event, unlocking the key to liver regeneration may actually be the key to human regeneration in general. Now, this will not work for complicated systems like arms or legs, but it may be possible to regenerate damaged organs where the entire organ is made up of the same type of cells. Now, these are, of course, complex, yes, but they are not as complex as the interdependent systems of your hand, where you have bone and blood vessels and skin and muscle. That's too many different types of cells to regenerate. But if you have a kidney, where it's all the same sort of filter cells, very similar to a liver, we may be able in the future to regenerate those when they've been damaged or removed. And that is one of the fascinating parts of human adaptation and evolution. We've talked about things that are old popping up again and why certain things happen. But moving forward, Homo sapiens sapien is one of the few animals that can use its intelligence and its knowledge to work with nature to possibly combine our powers and force adaptation or evolution to make a better model of ourselves for the future. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Rob Explains. Look for new episodes daily wherever you listen to podcasts, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode. Do you have a subject you'd like me to cover, or just looking for more Rob Explains? Find us online on all social media at Rob Explains. Got a comment, question, or query? Or did I get something wrong and you want to correct me? Shoot me an email, rob@robexplains.com, or you can leave a comment down below. I'll check those right after the show goes live. And you can send me a message, anchor.fm/RobExplains/message. And in the form of a voicemail, I can actually include it in a future episode. Once again, thank you for joining me. Until next time, this is Rob. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great day.